Happy June 16th. We are going to begin with the word of prayer, and then we're going to get started on our iClinic class tonight. So, dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for calling us to be your daughters. We thank you for this, the last 2 weeks of our 2025 seminar year. We thank you that you have called us to be your daughters. We thank you that you have given us products that help us to not only improve our skin, but you have given us tips and techniques to help us to just give us confidence. Now, as we help train each other, Lord, I ask that you would be with us. Help us to find ways and find ideas to help spur, because education is what gives people confidence, and confidence is a way that people help shine you. We ask this in your son's name. Amen.
Yeah.
So, the recording that we worked on last week. So if you don't have that, so it said part 1, we did that last week. We were talking all about the stuff that we were putting underneath makeup. So last week we were talking about eye creams. We were talking about eye patches. So go look at the recording. So last week was all about all the stuff underneath. So when we go to do eye classes, sometimes people are trying to figure out what can we do to help make everything look better. And then sometimes we're talking about, we're talking about makeup. And so tonight, we're talking about makeup. So just to let you know, tonight's an eye makeup class that we're actually talking about makeup. So I asked Leah to start because she's one of my girls. Well, in many ways. But I asked her what her fave was, and she talked about brows. And she goes, okay, do we get to talk about what we always have or what we currently have? So I said, let's go with what we currently have, because then I can also train on how do we get to help Mary Kay know. So she's going to be training in just a couple seconds on the brow kit. So the brow kit, can I get an amen that it's awesome? So Leah, hold it up. Show everybody how awesome, amazing our brow kits are. They're fabulous. They are absolutely fabulous. The disadvantages, they're not in the current catalog. Okay, so the disadvantages, they're not in the current catalog. But when you go out to InTouch, you can still buy them. Okay, that is why she's training on them, because we can still buy them. So this is also a little bit of training. Hello, Miss Gayla. Glad to have you from Texarkana. Now, how do we as consultants and how do our customers let Mary Kay Corporate know we like a product? It's called 1-800-MARY-KAY. Literally, 1-800-MARY-KAY. Pull it up on your phone. Dial the letters. 1-800-MARY-KAY. You can also do an email, but I have found to actually just call them and say, hey, just to let you know, this limited edition product is the bomb. I love it. Please, please consider bringing the brows, that they are something we have all the time. It makes everything totally awesome. In my opinion, the brow kit should always be here. In my opinion, we should never be without the After Sun Gel. I don't think that should be a limited edition item. I think we should have it forever and ever. Amen. I do not believe those should be limited edition items. So they're like phone calls. So yes, we as consultants can make the phone calls. What I have heard in the past is that it's one thing for us. Okay, they're actually weighted in corporate. It's one thing for me as a director to call. This isn't like factual like points, but reality is if I say it as a director, it weighs one thing. It's another thing, actually more weight if you as a consultant call in. But do you know who actually has the biggest weight?
Customer.
A customer. If you can persuade your customer to actually pick up the phone, that is actually the biggest weight of Mary Kay Corporate hearing that it is important that we have the product. So there we go. That is the training I wanted everybody to hear. There is no guarantee that just because we call that we will get it. But if we don't call, there's a guarantee we won't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my training on that. So yes, when something, I mean, I know Gail, I know that we're sad that the cream to powders are going away. So yes, have those customers that I know that are not happy with you. 1-800-MARY-K, 1-800-MARY-K. You're on mute, Gayla. I only saw that your lips were moving.
I did call and complain about it, and
Yep.
then she told me my face soap was being discontinued, and she ruined my day again. So
So yes. So like I said, so we can report it in. There's no promises because we reported in that they're gonna change their mind. But I can say if we don't report it in, we will not, they won't hear us.
Mhm.
So all I can say is
do it.
yes, say something. So with that being said, Leah and I both love, so we're gonna now go back to what regularly scheduled, we're training on eyes. So we're gonna start with the upper part of our eyes. We're gonna start with our brows. So Leah, I'm gonna highlight you. You're gonna do some training on our brow kit. You
Oh.
are up.
Okay. Of course, I wear glasses, and I started using the blonde kit. You can see, because of this gray going on, that I thought maybe the blonde was the better thing. But this last order, I got the brunette, and that's what I have on now. And I kind of like the brunette.
Okay.
And the way you start is in each kit, there's this little brush, spoolie brush, whatever. Spoolie. You brush your brows to make sure they're all going in the direction they need to go. Then it has a handy little 2-ended brush, and it's angled, so that helps you. I don't know if you can see the angle on that. You use the pomade first. The pomade is the first product that's in the kit, and you use that to define the arch and how you want your brows close to your nose, how you want to form those. Then you use the other end with the brush to use the middle, which is the actually brow tint. And you go in and you brush with that to reinforce and maybe pick up spots, that didn't get as much coverage with the pomade, and you use that. Now, the kit recommends that you use your finger to use the highlighter. I find that our brow brush, the end of it, use that and you trace right under your brow, and that gives you a highlighter. And then, of course, I always use the finishing spray when I get through with all of my makeup and make sure the brows are covered as well. This makeup I put on at 8 o'clock this morning, and I have not retouched anything, and I think the brows have stayed pretty good.
I think the girls are doing really good. Excellent job. Thank you. What I love about the pomade is basically the brow pencil in a compact form. I don't know how else to describe what the pomade is. It is our brow pencil in a compact form. That little one that she was holding up, it is basically the brow pencil in a box. So that's what I love about that. And then, use the powder to set it so that it doesn't go anywhere. So, so I agree. I would have to say there's a lot of my gray friends that agreed that they like the brunettes. I will have to say that is true. That a lot of my grays really did like their brunette better than the blonde. So, some went the dark blonde. So anyway, but awesome. They are still available. I am selling them until I can't. So I am still showing them. So when I go out and show people, I am still showing them off. So we are our own business people. I just think the brow kit is a better deal for my customer than all the pieces. It's all
it's going to last much longer than that brow pencil. Hello.
The only other tip that I've put on there is on our brow, that little pencil that's in there. I have put a little, either a piece of tape or some nail polish on the one end, so I know that's my pomade end of that brush, so that I'm not, okay, does anybody ever mix up your brushes, or is it just me that sometimes you,
Well, but I clean mine after every use
I
so
know,
that
but
I'm
I know, but it's still, I'm just saying, I just did that because, pomade's just got a different texture than the powder.
Yep, yep.
Yes, I still do clean my brushes, but it still has different texture. So that's up to you. Just being honest, I did label one of the ends of my brushes. So that's the only thing I did different. Only thing I did different. Okay. So, okay. Couple things now. I'm going to do a couple things. I purposely have limited eye makeup on right now because I was going to do a couple things with you guys. And I did bring my mirror so I can actually see what I'm going to do. As well, I think you guys all know your director is a little bit of a blind bat when she takes her glasses off. So, especially for us as consultants, y'all have access to products. So please use products. So this is probably one of my favorite things that I have started doing with my eyeliner is I use more than one color. So the reality is right now I'm actually using 3 because I still have some of the copper left. Of course, I use the copper because I have blue eyes. Okay, so I still have some of the copper left in my repertoire because I stocked up because, well, I have blue eyes. So let me tell you the how and the whys, what I do with my 3. Obviously, black is going to be the most it's going to be the most prominent color. Yes, it's going to be the deepest color. So when I'm doing my eyeliner, how about if I highlight me, see if that makes it any bigger for y'all? Can I do that without my glasses? Probably not. I know it says something there, but no, like spotlight there. There's the one. Okay, there it is. Okay, so as you're looking at my eyeliner right there, you guys can see that I am putting, because I do have my black eyeliner on right now. My black eyeliner is about 2/3, 7/8 of my eye line, but I don't go all the way to my tear duct, and I don't go all the way out to the outer edge of my eye with my black. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay, but I also don't want to not go all the way in. Does that make sense? Anybody else want to make sure that we actually go all the way in? So that is where I will actually pick up my brown, because brown isn't as drastic as black. Making sense to everybody? Gayla nodding at me, kind of giving
I
me
just don't go there.
My
What?
eyeliner is permanent, so I'm
Okay,
just
your line's
listening.
permanent. Okay, so what I do is I come here and I come in here and I'm getting some more definition, but it's not so hard to shut that eye down as drastic. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What I'm saying? Okay. And then when I come over here to the corner, I mean, most of you guys have hung out with me in class. I'm going to be working to pull open the outer corner of my eye. So one of the things that I do over here in this corner is I'm going to take a little bit of my brown.
We can't see it.
Whoops. If I go here, I'm going to build up a little bit of my corner wing with my brown to make a little bit of height. So instead of with just eyeshadow, I'm using my brown. Does that make sense? What I'm doing? Okay. Do you guys see what that's done to the corner of that eye already?
Mhm.
So you're not doing it the actual corner, you're doing it prior to the corner.
Yes. Do you know why I'm not in the corner? Because there's wrinkles over there.
Yeah. Don't say mine don't do right.
Okay. I don't need to be over here because there's wrinkles over here. Okay. I want my eyes to be picked up. I basically want a facelift. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I am putting this eyeshadow inside my eye line to help get, I mean,
Okay.
look at the two sides of my face, people. And I haven't even finished it yet.
Mhm.
What side looks like I'm like, had some sleep. Right? Does that make sense what I'm doing? Is
Yeah.
it making sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So one, I put a little the darker color right here inside, not on the corner. Okay. But because I can, and because we have more than 2 colors of eyeliners. So for some of you, you might be going to your steely here, the gray. Okay. Because we have copper. I like the copper with my eyes. I like the copper. So I play with copper. Now I'm going to actually come up here on my brow bone and then color back into my eyelid.
Mm.
This isn't blended, but do you guys get the concept where I'm going?
Mhm.
Mhm.
See what that has done to lift that whole corner of that side of my face. And this is without lashes. I haven't added any mascara. I haven't added any more mascara on that side of my face yet. See what that's doing?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. So tip 1, but just so that you can see the drastic difference of why I'm choosing lighter compared to darker. This is the advantage of I'm not leaving the house tonight, okay? Because I would not do this if I was actually out in public. So what did I just do with my black eyeliner? Well, I thought I had my black eyeliner in here. Maybe I don't. Okay, we'll just do it with brown. Okay, I'm lying. I don't have my black eyeliner in here. I really thought I had my black eyeliner in here. Okay, we'll do it brown. It'll be bad enough with black. Brown. Here we go. Here it is. I knew I had it in here. Okay. I knew I had my black eyeliner in here. Okay, so watch what happens. Okay, so this is with brown copper. Same theory. What happens if I go over here and I put this all black? How much harsher
Mhm.
does that look? Not that it's bad, but it's a more dramatic look. You guys see the difference of the
Yeah.
dramatic of the black
Mhm.
compared to the brown?
Now, would
Yeah.
you have your eyeshadow go all the way down to your corner or not?
So, okay. Okay, so if I'm going to add eyeshadow over the top of this, my eyeshadow stays inside the line.
Okay.
Sorry, I got it. Sorry. I'm not trying to block you guys, but I still seriously can't see. So sorry. So eyeshadow stays inside. That's one of the reasons why I will put my eyeliner on first,
Okay.
because now I know to paint inside the line. So my eyeshadow comes inside the line.
And so you just don't do anything but from the eyeliner down to the corner?
So I do, okay, so I got this upper part up here. Yeah, this is gonna be, okay. Of course, technically, when you've got hooded eyes like I have, it really doesn't matter what I do on my eyelid. because you're never going to see it, you know, because there's nothing there. So how do I finish it? You're asking, what do I do in here?
Yes,
I'm thinking
yes.
that's what you're asking me, yes? So one, I make sure I have mascara on. Either
Mhm.
side. I'm going to wear mascara. I do put a little mascara here in my corners.
Mhm.
Okay. This eye is just really strong in my opinion, but okay, I'll get over it. Okay, some more mascara on. And then to just blend it so it's not like, it's because to me, this is like hard, like some really hard lines between
Mhm.
yes and no.
Mhm.
So then I take my angle brush.
Yeah,
That one makes sense to you guys, which one I'm saying?
right.
Mm.
Okay. And then I pick up some eyeshadow, usually my midtones, the ones that I've used in here,
Mhm.
making sense which colors I'm asking for. Picking up my midtones, and then I'm coming down the eyeshadow, the eyeliner line, and coming underneath my line to catch underneath my lashes. And then I go over the upper eye line just to calm it down so it's blended so it doesn't look just like a, you know, a hard line. Making sense?
Mhm.
That make more sense what I do?
Mhm.
Now, obviously, I use midtones over here because this is softer. If I was trying to blend out this black, I'm going to have to use something darker because this is so much more
Prominent. Yeah.
personally don't know what to do with that because I don't know.
Smoky eye.
Must be getting ready to go on stage or something because well, I mean, but reality is if I was getting ready to go on stage, I probably would need my black just to help because the stages, those stage lights are going to wash me out.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. So that helped give you guys some ideas. Okay. So one, with your eyeliners, you guys have colors. Please use them. Play
Mhm.
with them because part of it is playing with them gives you, until we play with them, how do you know what you do and don't know?
Mhm.
Even though, no, Gail, I know you got them. I know you have them tattooed on. Play with some colors around them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just because they're tattooed, I mean, just because they're tattooed on doesn't mean you can't play around them.
Right.
Have some fun with
Yeah.
that. Okay. Same with eyeshadows. How many colors are you playing with? I mean, you know,
Uh-huh.
I have the big one for a
Great.
reason. You know, there's some that are more my favorites than others. I mean, there's some that I'm more likely to, I mean, if it's I'm running out to VBS and I ain't thinking about it, okay, there's my standards. But I do have other ones that I play with. May I tell you that if you don't own this blending brush, the eyeshadow blending brush, will you get yourself one or two of them, please? Because now watch what this does. Can I just tell you that this cures 99% of everything that happens to your eyes? I mean, because it just blurs and fixes everything. And then, of course, just as Leah says, make sure you wash it. Okay. But this brush, I was so thankful when it came out that it was like, oh my gosh, because the other ones are just, this one's so much softer that it actually moves stuff without just taking it all off or without completely just going, "Ert." It actually blends it. So this is, if you're giving somebody a gift, I'm like if somebody, for me, if somebody goes and buys that middle size compact and they buy 6 eyeshadows, this is their gift with purchase
Mhm.
because this changes their life for how they're going to apply their eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay. So that's that. Tip and technique that I don't know that I knew. You guys may have been just smarter than me. When it comes to our under eye corrector, if somebody is seriously purple, okay, not just kind of purple, but seriously purple underneath their eyes. You guys have met those humans, yes? You guys, prayerfully it's not you, but you guys know humans that are seriously purple under their eyes. They are recommending that you blend, that you use the under eye corrector with a mixture of concealer that is equal to their skin tone. So for somebody my skin tone, that is the light beige. So you actually don't want it to be lighter than their skin tone. So you want to use the under eye corrector and a concealer equal to their skin tone. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because most of the time when we use a concealer, what are we going to say? We want it to be what? Lighter, right? Isn't that everything we think?
Mhm.
If they are actually suffering from deep purple, they're suffering from deep, under their eyes is completely discolored. If we want to help them actually look brighter under their eyes, we actually want to mix the under eye corrector with a concealer that is equal to their skin tone. So Shalisa on screen, Shalisa has a better tan than I do. Shalisa would be playing in probably light bronze. She would not be playing with deep beige. I would not be playing with dark ivory. I would be playing with my light beige. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys hearing what I'm throwing down?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Would actually be playing equal to, if not slightly darker than our color, and mixing it with, yes, there's Shalisa, our girl with our tan. So she would actually be mixing it. Does that make sense? So if all of a sudden you have a customer that is making comments that their eyes, that the under eye corrector isn't getting their eyes bright enough. Is that okay? This was a new training that I heard. I mean, for me, if I just use this, I have more concern about puffiness. Mine, I use the Instant ID puffer in this. I'm fine. But I know friends who have that purple undertone, that this is not enough to keep it knocked down. That is the new training that I learned, that if the under eye corrector is not enough, mix it with a concealer equal to their skin tone, and they will be pleasantly surprised how bright their eyes get. So, okay, how is that for tips for around your eyes?
Yeah, because I was trying to go from the corner up and I have muy many wrinkles right there.
Avoid. Yes,
Yeah.
avoid. Get out of that corner. And I know Shalisa, we got to do that event over at our Lash Buddies. We have a friend that does lashes. We can, even if we do falsies, either that we go and get them on or we glue them on. The same is true. We can even add less intensity of lashes over in the corner, where if we are trying to get people to not notice an area, don't add heaviness there, because it's going to draw attention to where you are not trying to get attention. And that's the other reason why instead of using my dark eyeliner under my eye, because there's wrinkles and that's another reason why I don't wear heavy dark black eyeliner under my eye, because it's like, I don't need the harsh contrast underneath my eyes. I don't know. You guys all have it. I'm just saying. Another thing I did put on today, this is our new bronzers. Did you guys see that we can now order the bronzers?
Mhm.
They're available. Bronzers are available. So this is the bronzers.
Mhm.
Cute. So I treated the bronzers instead of using blush, I use bronzer today.
Well, I put a stripe of bronze and then blush.
Okay. Yep. I had BBS today, so
Oh,
in fact, I had anything on. I was quite impressed. Okay. Other questions? Helpful. Did you guys find that helpful for
Yes.
ideas?
yes.
Yes?
Mhm.
Kayla,
Yes.
any other questions? Because if not, we're going to turn off the training for the eyes and then we got some announcements. Cool.
Good.
Good. Okay.